What's going on, honkies? It's Friday, but not really. It's actually Wednesday, but it's my Friday, and that's good enough for me. Did this shirt shrink in the wash machine, or do I have it on backwards? Like, it's really tight in the shoulder area. Like, in the arm area, too. It is a cheap $5 Walmart shirt, so chances are it did shrink in the dryer. Of course, now the comments are like, "No, man, you just got fat as frig." Well, I know that, so frig off. Screw it. I'll wear this shirt. It doesn't feel like I'm going to the gym with my arms all shredded out so I can go lift some weights. Speaking of going to the gym, I've been thinking about doing that $10 a month at the gym just around the corner from my house. Oh yeah, on top of that, I fixed my remote start. Don't know if I told you guys that yet. Turns out, I contacted Ford about it when I recently and said, listen, this is what's happening. It's not working all the time. It's hit and miss. And they said, oh, that usually happens when the battery's dying. You need to replace the battery. I said, well, listen, like the truck's not even a year old. Is this under warranty? Like, do you guys do it? Or can I pop it open and replace the battery? And they said, oh no, the battery's not covered. That's just like the battery in your car, the battery in your starter's not covered. So if you need to replace it, you got to replace it at your own cost. Blah, blah, blah. Which kind of bothers me. How does a battery in a fob die after a year? Not even a year. I only started using it in November. Like, it's not like I used it last year when I got the truck in May or April to start the truck. I just used it, like, come this winter. So, whatever. I don't care. So I popped it open, found out what kind of battery it was, went to the source, bought a new battery of that kind, and shoved it in, and lo and behold, starts like a champ. And I can start it from the office too now again, which is great because the past couple days we've had some doozies. I'm just gonna go grab some shite. Forgot my phone. Reason why I started the truck, no, we don't have to go to work yet. It's only 6:30 p.m. I still got 4 hours before I gotta depart. However, I don't really feel like cooking anything for dinner, even though cooking for dinner requires me to fire stuff into an air fryer and spin a dial. I feel like going to Sobeys and getting a chicken dinner. Because winter, chicken dinner. And that's what we're gonna do. So, tonight, I go into work for 11 to 7. And then tomorrow, as I get off work, I drive over to Ford and drop off the truck to get an oil change. Now, my buddy already warned me. He's got a brand new Ford Focus ST, not the RS, but the ST, which apparently a 2-liter turbo. Nice car. He said, get ready. He goes, it's not like going to Jiffy Lubes or Walmart. You're not in and out. I'm like, what do you mean? It's a fucking oil change. Like, I did a video on that in the driveway, and the video was 15 minutes long. It maybe took me 25 minutes to do it because of the struggling with getting the oil cap off. And by oil cap, I mean the drain plug. But other than that, 25 minutes. He's like, no. They'll pull the plug, drain the oil, and then they'll leave and go do another job. Forget about your car. Come back to it, put the plug back in. Forget about your car, and then come back to it, put oil into it, forget about your car, change the filter, forget about your car, then start it, then 4 hours later, your car's ready. And I'm like, that's ridiculous. Like, it should be in and out. So this oil change is free. They're not going to charge me for the oil change. I noticed a couple comments where people are like, oh, the dealership's going to nickel and dime you on things in the truck. Well, it's got a warranty, so all they can really nickel and dime me on is stuff that shouldn't have worn out by now. So, yeah, that's bullshit. Like, I got 2,700 kilometers in it. I think that's about 1,300 miles. Maybe more, maybe less. I don't know the conversion. So, if there's stuff wrong with it, then it should be under warranty, if anything. So, we'll see how that plays out tomorrow. But I'm going to ask them, like, for oil changes, can I go anywhere else but here? And if they say no, I'm going to be pissed. If they say yes, then I'm going to be happy. Because 4 hours for an oil change, that's freaking stupid. That's like the dumbest ever. I understand they don't want me doing it because I'm not a certified mechanic. And apparently changing oil is like doing open heart surgery to some. But if I can't bring it over to the lube shop that I brought the G6 to so many times, or then I'm not, that's bullshit. Like, or even to Speedy or any of the other mechanics in town. I should be able to bring it anywhere to get an oil change. I shouldn't have a monopoly on that, so I'm hoping that's the case. Should be, as long as I keep a record of the oil changes, it should be fine. In my thought, anyway. Like, the receipts of when the oil changes were done. So, that's what I'm going to do. I'll keep all the friggin' information. I'll get an envelope or a folder, file folder started, and I'll put all the receipts for the oil changes in there. Hang on to them to show that, yes, it's been done. Because there's no way I really want to, like 4 hours, that's a lot of time. That's bullshit. And I can't come home and go to sleep because if I do, I'll sleep through the call when they're like, hey, your truck's ready. Anyway, my truck's got to be warm by now. Let's get out there. Alright, people. Yeah, I realized, you know, it's kind of funny. I got to watch everything I say on this thing. And it's not because of the YouTube AdSense or anything like that. It's people, commenters. They're funny. Like, I read through the comments on the video that went up today, which was the one that nothing to do in the winter, and there's a couple of like really hateful comments on there. So obviously, like, when I see that, I think of myself. Like when I'm on Facebook and somebody makes a comment, not even directed at me, but it's directed at something I like or something I do, and it really offends me. But it shouldn't, because they're not coming at me, they're just making a comment about a hobby or something I like, and I have an opinion about it, but I know they don't want to hear that anyway, so on and so forth. But I guess there were some things I said that rubbed people the wrong way, and they felt a need, even though I wasn't even commenting about them because I don't know them from a hole in the ground, they felt the need to come at me like a shark, and I have an open wound. Like, they felt the need to like really try and cause hurt. And you know what? I really don't care. All I'm saying is, it's funny that you gotta watch everything you say nowadays because people are so friggin' easily offended and pathetic that when you make a comment, not even directed at them, but indirectly directed at them, because that's how they live their life or that's what they do, they feel the need to attack you on a heavy level, and it's mint. It's mint. Like, way to like let me know how to push your buttons, so that if I ever want to come to your channel and comment on your stuff and push your buttons, you just gave me the ammo to do so. Like, people, it's so funny. You know, like, so apparently you got to watch everything you say on here. And keep in mind, I'm just making videos because I'm bored. Like, I could not make videos and life wouldn't be any different, because this actually takes time out of my life. And luckily right now I got nothing going on in my life. Mind you, I am trying to learn, or I am learning Unity, not trying to learn, holy crap. I'm trying to find time to learn it because I just got off a 6-day run of a 60-hour work week. Tonight's the end of my 60-hour work week, to be honest. I worked Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and tonight. But Saturday and Sunday was from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. I think that's right. I think that's, yeah, that's 60 hours. So then I got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday off, which is decent. I tried to get some extra shifts in, but nobody wanted to give them up, so that sucks. Try and make as much bank as possible so I can survive. But it is what it is. Other people got to make bank too. And that's one thing I laughed about about going after hours is the shit our bosses told us. Okay, somebody's got a freaking giver. All right, the shit our bosses told us and the lies. Like, they're like, oh yeah, and you can pick up extra shifts. Well, what they neglected to tell you, the underlining note on that is, you can pick up extra shifts if somebody wants to give up those shifts. Like, I'm lucky. The guy on my shift, he does a lot of side work on computers. He's got a lot of clients because he used to work for another computer firm in town, and he quit because of whatever reason. And he took a bunch of their clients with him because they liked the work he did, not so much as the work the company in whole did. They liked the way how he did his business. So they left that company and went with him to do all their shit. So he's busy. Like, right now he's got a contract to build 5 workstations, all Intel i7s, and set them up, deliver them. On top of that, he's got to configure a server for this business and all sorts of shit like that. Like, he makes more doing the side jobs than he does working, but like he said, he goes, you know, sometimes it rains, it pours, and other times you're in a drought for a month. Like, there's no work. So he's like, you got to do that fun budgeting thing where, you know, 1 month you make like 6-7 grand profit, the next month you don't even work. So you got to make that last month's paycheck last 2 months. He's like, this is the reason why I have the job. And what works out great is I'm so hungry for shifts that whenever I work and he doesn't, I can just take his shifts and he doesn't mind, because he'd rather have extra time off. You know, 20 hours a week is more than enough for him. So it works out to my benefit. And the problem is before on regular hours, you get 36 hours a week. On after hours, you get 33 hours. You actually lose 3 hours. By me working this past weekend, I actually gave myself that 3 hours that I lost. And then when we're on days, I'll be able to work that Thursday that I normally have off if I want. He said if I want to take it, I can take it and bank another 8 hours worth of work. Which, you know what, I honestly might do, because I need to make some friggin' skrill, because I don't want to lose this sweet ass truck. And I don't care what anybody says, I love my truck. It might be a Ford, you might be a Chevy guy, but hey, your sexual preference is none of my business. I'm kidding, to each their own, for crying out loud. If Chevy's your thing, Chevy's your thing. Like I said, I probably would have bought the Chevy over the Ford. It had a nicer interior. The only reason why I went with the Ford is because the Chevy dicks were dicks and wouldn't let me drive the damn truck. So, how are you going to drop 40 grand on something if you can't get behind the wheel and give her a spin? You don't. Anyway, I'm going to grab some food. I'll talk to you in a bit. Alright, I'm back. Fire up the truck. Truckosaurus Online! Alright, let's get out of here. Got my chicken, bought some more coffee because I'm out. They had some on sale, so I snagged it. Yeah, man. Talking about work and stuff, about the hour cuts and all that. One of my buddies who works there, he's on the day shift, and they've been cut from 36 hours a week to, I think he says he does, because we don't get paid lunch, right? I don't know how it is and where you are, but we don't get a paid lunch. Our lunch is 45 minutes, our time, which is great, because that means you can leave and go and do stuff, and you don't have to stay on the company's property. A lot of places are like, well, at Ontario, for instance, on your lunch break, you theoretically were not supposed to leave the company's property because it was a paid lunch. Therefore, you're still the responsibility of the company. Therefore, if you left and you got into an accident, the company was responsible. They're liable for it. So all those videos at Ontario when I would leave on my 8 o'clock lunch break and go to the beer store and buy a case and all that. Yeah, all that was, I shouldn't have been doing that. Like, that was wrong of me to do. Holy. Something's making a weird sound in that parking lot, like a fan belt squeal or something. Weird. But, yeah, anyway. So, because of that, a lot of places don't give you paid lunches. Well, not just that, because it's cheaper not to pay for your lunchtime, right? Like, they have to give you a lunch, but they don't have to pay you for it. That's the way it's stated in the labor code. Anyway, in Canada anyway, or at least Ontario. Maybe it's an Ontario thing. I don't know. All I know is that's the way it is at work. So you don't get 45 minutes of your 8-hour shift is not yours. So you work 7 hours and 15 minutes a day. Theoretically 6 hours and 45 minutes because you got 2 15-minute breaks in there too. But anyway, I digress. His hours got cut from 36 to 49 or 29 or something like that. So it got tough for him, and he actually had to give up his truck. He only owned it for a year. He went into the Chevy dealership. He had a nice one too. He had a 2016 Chevy Sierra, fully loaded. Like, he had the 4 doors for more horrors. Only the 6-foot box or 6.5-foot box, whatever the hell it is. 4x4, 5.3 liter V8. Just decked, eh? Just a decked out truck. All the bells and whistles you could possibly consider having inside of a vehicle. His had, you know, it had the OnStar, so you can make phone calls from your car and all that shit. Unlike my car or my truck, where you have to have your phone on you to make calls. His, you could just do it. It had cell reception. He had other junk on it, the screen with the GPS and all that. Just a loaded truck. But once the hours got cut, he was having a hard time affording everything, and downgraded from the truck. And he was lucky the dealership helped him out with this, but he downgraded from his truck to a little lunchbox car. And this is the reason why I'm busting my ass and taking all these shifts, because after driving this for almost a year and realizing how much fun it is to see over top of all the vehicles in front of you and around you, being able to see the road for, like, I don't know, it's just, once you drive a truck, it's a whole different, you can't go back to a car. You just can't. Like, you got this option for 4x4 where, oh no, the roads are hard and shit and stuff. What am I gonna do? And you turn this dial, and all of a sudden you got this newfound traction. You know, oh, there's a bunch of shit in the way. What am I gonna do? Oh, well, your truck sits high, so you can just climb over top of it. Who cares? You can't do that stuff with a car. Only thing I do miss is fuel economy, but I haven't had that since the Ford Focus, so that's okay. Like I say, this thing's better on gas than the G6, boys. Way better on gas than the G6. Like I said, I've been driving now. I got still 3/4 of a tank, and I've put about 100 and just under 100 clicks onto it since I filled it. And when I did fill it, I didn't fill it. It was only filled to 7/8. So G6 was brutal on gas. She was getting, like, in the end 22 miles or 22 liters per 100. This thing here right now is getting 17.9 in the winter. It's probably going to get better as time goes on. So, yeah. But I did not want to do that. Imagine going from this to like a Ford Festiva, because that's literally what he did, but in the Chevy lineup. That would just be the biggest letdown, I want to cry event of the world. Go from a friggin' killer truck V8 to a little 1.4 liter Econo box that can barely haul me around because I weigh more than 150 pounds. But anyway, I'm almost home. It's chicken time. Remember, people, watch what you say. There's libtards out there that'll get offended, cry. They'll cry hard, and then they'll have to attempt to attack you and make you cry. Now people are gonna be like, "Oh, you are offended. Otherwise, you wouldn't have mentioned that." Like, I can see the comments now. Like, it's great. Anyway, talk to you when I get home. Yay, chicken! Alrighty guys, well I have my chicken, and now I played some Forza Horizon 3 because I'm having fun and I want to catch up to the other guys because they all have cars that just decimate mine, and I can't really race with them because I'm not in their class. So I just beat the game, got a bunch of cool cars, now I can probably keep up with them, and I'm gonna rock piss, fire up the truck, and we gotta go to work. Yeah, it's funny, you know, I swear a lot of YouTubers who quit YouTubing, it's not because of YouTube politics, it's because of the comment section. And I just fired up the truck, dog's outside, he's taking a dump. But no, seriously, if you think about it, like, for instance, Crazy British Bloke. A lot of people are like, oh, is he dead? Did he pass away? What's going on? I don't know why people go right dark mode with him, thinking that he's dead or he passed away or he's done. Like, the guy's younger than my dad, okay? He's still got plenty of life in him. We chat from time to time, but he's a busy fuck, I'm a busy fuck. It's the way we do, you know? We're busy individuals. We don't have time to, well, he definitely doesn't have the time because he's a contractor and, you know, he's always busy doing work, and, you know, if he doesn't work, he doesn't get paid. Because, you know, that's the way life is. If you don't work, you don't get paid. Unless you're on the welfare, then figure yourself and you're taking my tax-paying dollars, whatever. But the reason why a lot of people quit YouTube is because the comment section is literally cancer. And it's true. Like, you got some people who are actually pretty cool and will offer proper insight, you know, as to what's going on. And like for instance, when I paint the car, when I mentioned painting the car, I had somebody who decided not to comment, but instead send me a personal message because they've painted multiple cars. And when they started off, they made mistakes, and they don't want to see me making the same mistakes they made when they started off. They, you know, try and get me to go into this at a running pace, with a running start. And I love that, you know. I love information that I can use to basically, hopefully, make the project go off without a hitch. Also, I'm going to have a benefit on my side that he didn't have. I'm going to have an actual experienced licensed body man with me showing me a lot of cool stuff. But I still appreciate those comments because it gives me some stuff to look into, to research, not to validate his sayings, but to get more information on the technique so that when I go to do the project, if I run into a snag, I know how to fix it, you know? And that's awesome. I love that. But then you got people who decide to leave the most cancerous comments ever. With what intent, I have no idea. Either to discourage the project or just to be a blatant dick. And after a while, that shit will burn you down to the point where you're like, why do I even bother uploading videos? Like, even though it's only like 4 people doing it out of 13,000, we'll just say in my case, so out of 13,000, those 4 people are enough to make certain YouTubers say, you know what? This isn't worth my time and effort. I could be doing other things that are more productive rather than holding a camera and talking to unappreciated bastards. Even though, once again, it's 4 people, not 13,000. You always see the negatives over the positive, people. That's human nature. It's the way she goes. So a lot of times people will just say, screw it. Hang up the camera and stop. And that's what happened to Bloke. A lot of people think, oh, he quit because the David's farm money stopped. He's not making David's farm money anymore. Not making $12,000, $13,000 a month. That's why he quit, because he's just all about the money. No, he quit. And I'm 100% sure of this because he would put his heart and soul into a video just to get ripped to shreds in the comment section. So then he was like, you know what? Screw it. Why bother? And I don't blame him. This is why I don't make videos as often anymore. Like, I'm making one today, but I got 4 days off. I might not make a video in these 4 days. I don't know. If I have something to make a video about, cool. I'll pick up the camera. If I don't, I'm not even going to shred it. I'm not even going to care. You know, it's not worth my time. Yeah, I like to sit in front of my computer. I like to play video games on my computer. You know, when I'm out socializing with people, I don't sit there and stare at my phone. I try and have a conversation with them. I don't get out much, mind you. When I do, I try to converse with the person I'm with, because in my own time, that's when I can figure around with my phone or play on my computer or tablets or whatever, you know? But no, it's always people. They feel this need to try and drop some negativity into your video to get you to quit. And the thing is you don't realize with the state of YouTube, people quitting is actually beneficial for them. People walking away from this, it's beneficial for them. Because who needs this negative, toxic environment? Nobody. Nobody needs it. So by you forcing someone to quit YouTube, they might be upset about it now, but in a month from now, they're going to be like, I can't believe I used to make YouTube videos. What the hell's wrong with me? And when I quit for that period, you know, I was like that. I was like, I can't believe I used to make YouTube videos. What the hell's wrong with me? What was I thinking? You know, putting all that shit on the internet, public domain, anybody can see it. For what? To be discovered by the Trailer Park Boys, so maybe I could appear on one of their shows, which will never frickin' happen. Even though apparently they're aware of me, that's pretty cool. Tommy NC 2010 there, he talked to them at a show in his town, and they knew me, so they're aware of me. That's neat. Probably wondering why I don't swear as much as I used to, but you know, try and keep it rated PG-13. Let me tell you, when this thing turns off, the trucker mouth starts, oh hell yeah. But there's another guy that Chutch and them watch called One Lonely Farmer, and the guy's been in the game forever. He's been fixing tractors and doing all sorts of work like that, and every time he uploads a video, he just gets pounded with hate comments. I have a feeling if his channel wasn't so big and he wasn't making the kind of Skrilla he does off his videos, he probably would have got stepping a long time ago too. And honestly, I wouldn't blame the guy, because the comment section is cancer. He hates this time of day. Just hates it, because he knows I'm leaving. And he doesn't like that kind. Right? See? Yeah, you make monkey sounds. But someone's got to work around here. I told him to get a job and buy his own food. He just made monkey sounds, so someone's got to pay for the food around here, and that someone's got to be me. Holy, the roads are slick, boys. Came around the corner back there, and I was sideways. I gotta remember, I'm not playing Forza right now. This is IRL. You cannot drive like an idiot. But before we head into the office, I'm gonna stop off at Horton's, grab myself a coffee. I do have the fixings to make coffee at work, but there's something just glorious about a Horton's that makes life so much better. What the hell's that sound? Huh. Suspension must be frozen or something. That's weird. Oh well, it goes to the shop tomorrow. They can look it over. If anything's broken, they can fix it. Oh, Jesus. Well, that had to be the second most annoying sound in the world. Ever since we had that, we had a hot break and everything like melted and stuff, and then a flash freeze, and ever since then this truck has been making a lot of clicking and ticking sounds. So there's got to be ice somewhere where there shouldn't be ice, and it's causing things to jam up. Quick rip over here to the Hortons. Grab ourselves a double with milk, preferably a Lausch. Can I get a double with milk, large? That'd be all. Okay. I feel like an idiot buying a $2 coffee with my debit card. For freak's sakes. Debit.
Oh, sorry.
Take. right on. Roll up the rims back.
Have a good night.
Have a good one. Sweet, boys. Tim Hortons, roll up the rims back. That means now you get to pay $2 to get caffeinated and told you're a loser. So yeah, it's like, you guys want to know how Bloke's doing? Bloke's fine. Everything's cool with him. The reason why I don't get down there much anymore is because I got nobody to watch Oreo. And it sucks, like, on a week like today, like tonight's my last shift. So tomorrow I could go home at 7. Well, if I didn't have the truck work get done, but anyway, I could go home at 7, sleep till about noon, that's 5 hours, jump in the truck, bomb down to Bloke's. I get there by 5 p.m. Thursday, and I could leave Friday, or leave Sunday at around noon, 1, 2, somewhere around there. Come home for like 7, 8, whatever time I get home, because Monday I don't go into work till 3. And I could go down for a weekend visit and hang out and shoot the shit and just, you know, have a good time. But I got nobody to watch the dog, so I can't do that. Instead, I got to just stay home, which is fine though, because I know he's a busy guy. He's got work on the go, you know, he's got mortgages and bills to pay and all that shit, and you know, time wasted on making videos is time he could be using to do work. You know, and a lot of people have been telling me, Adam, you should really stop drinking. You drink too much. Well, keep in mind, yes, on every video you see, I do go out and get beer, but those videos aren't filmed daily. It's not like before people. It's not like every day I'm going to the beer store. Like, I haven't drank now since, oh Christ, since it's been over a week. It's easily been over a week. I haven't had a beer in me since Tuesday. Well, not the Tuesday that just went by, the Tuesday before that. So it's been 9 days since I purchased and drank beer. You know, it's not like I was when I was laid off and I was drinking beer every freaking day. Or, you know, while I was working at the call center, drinking it just so I could stay happy because that place made me want to kill myself. But that's call center life for you, boys. Now it's like I drink only on my days off, and you know, I'll buy a 2-4 and that lasts me 4 days. So that's like what, 6 beer a night? Whoop-de-doo. I know people who do that daily, 5, 6 beer a night. Hell, I know a guy who dicks over a friggin' 26er of whiskey every night just so he can function and get to sleep. So I don't believe I have a drinking problem, because if I did, these past 9 days I would have spent them friggin' loaded. You know, I'd been getting off work at 7 a.m. and drinking beer just so I can get some shut-eye instead of just going to bed. Hell, I haven't even been using my medicinals much lately to fall asleep, so that's pretty good. I do say so myself. But anyway, I'm gonna shut her down here, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. We're gonna make this a long vid. It's pitter patter. Yay, work is done, and it's home time. Actually, I'm gonna go right home. I'm not gonna go to Ford right away. Yeah, it's not gonna take me long to get to the Ford service place and get this truck's oil change done. And they're not open till 8:30, so I don't know why they told me to go in for 8. So I'm gonna go home and let the dog out. Chatting with a couple people, and they're like, oh yeah, it could take upwards to 4 hours to get an oil change at the dealership. What the hell? Why would it take 4 hours? Like, I don't get that. I already bitched about this earlier in the video. But he's like, get ready. He's like, they say it's a free oil change. He goes, it's not gonna be. I said, well, fucking better be. Like, I ain't got no money. And there shouldn't be anything ready to be replaced. Like brakes shouldn't need replacing. I got 2,800 kilometers, not 28,000, 2,800. Like I've seen brand new cars on the dealership sold with more mileage than this. You know, like when they sell the test drive cars, they have more mileage than this. And they're sold for like maybe 5-6 grand off the top. If anything needs to be replaced, it should be done under warranty because it has that bumper to bumper, so there should be no extra hidden fees. You know, I can change my own air filter. Fuck me. This is ice, isn't it? Okay, no, we're good. Oh, but my buddy texted me there. And he's like, hey man, he's a big console player. Like, he likes Sony PlayStation. And he got himself a computer that given to him or whatever. It's pretty much a Dell XPS, like mine. But it's got the i5, not the i7. And he said, can I game with this? And I said, well, yeah. I said, well, what do you got for a video card? And he goes, I don't know. I said, well, where are you plugging your monitor into? And he shows me on the back, and he's plugging it into the motherboard. So he's using the stock Intel GMA 3000 or 2000 or whatever the i5 second generation has with it. I think it's the 2000. I said, well, yes and no. Like, you can play mine, like small, tiny games. You couldn't play PUBG, though. That wouldn't run. And he went, crap, that's what I want to get into. It looks like you guys have fun with that one. He's like, well, what would I need for a video card? Well, I know mine, the reason why the R9 380 didn't work in it is because my R9 380 requires a UEFI board. Now, the 960 will flip-flop. It'll detect, like if it detects UEFI, it'll use it. If it can't find UEFI, it'll put itself into legacy mode and be done with it. But the R9 380 I have requires UEFI or it will not run. And there's a lot of video cards that are like that have that requirement that you must meet. So I told him, I said, well, I'm using a 960 right now. And I know the 1060 works. I looked it up. He said, well, how much is the 1060? So I jump on Newegg. What the hell happened? Like, when we got DK his 1060, it was 300 bucks. 300 and change, I think it was. Probably around 350 bucks. They want over $600 Canadian for that card now. Did some looking around. Cryptocurrency. All these stupid data miners out there mining for bitcoins and shite. Jacking up the prices of video cards so gamers gotta suffer. I was like, that's ridiculous. So now he's like, well, I told him the price and he's like, is that bad? I'm like, that's horrendous. That's double the price. That's almost, that's brutal. Like a 1050 Ti is going for the same, actually it's going for like $500 bucks. Not $300 is the 1050, like straight up, which is a 960. So he's like, well, what about the 1050? Do you think that would do it for me? I said, I don't know how that'll handle PUBG, to be honest with you. Like, it's not the greatest card. It'll probably get the job done. My 960 can get the job done in PUBG, and the graphics don't look too nasty. But in the end, it's no top contender. Like a 1060 would be nice. That's where you'd want to be, but not for that price. All because of Bitcoin mining. Like the 1080, this is brutal. The 1080 is 1,100 Canadian dollars. Okay, you can go out right now to Dell.ca, click on their gaming PC section, and buy the Alienware Aurora, which comes with it. Move over, you idiot. which comes with a 1080 video card for $1,100, $1,099. Or you can buy the video card for $1,000. Okay, what are you doing? Figure it out. Oh, I can't wait for summer. Some of these people need the friggin' paint on the roads in order to figure out where they gotta be. So yeah, you buy a brand new pre-built system, video card's cheap. You buy a video card's spendy. And I was sitting there thinking, like, wow, what is that? I gotta get that looked at. Something in the front end's whack. I got a cat under the hood, as in a kitten cat. But anyway, all I know is cryptocurrency killed video card prices, and that pisses me right off, because I was actually contemplating once the dust settles there and we see what happens in April, I wanted to replace the 960 in the Dell with a 1060 and give her a little bit more gaming potential and up the RAM from 10 gigs to a mighty or 12 gigs to a mighty 16. But I wanted to upgrade the video card so I can get more rendering potential. That was the big deal. Now I know the 1070 won't work in it due to my system having that non-UEFI, unless I get a 1070 with a toggler. Because you can get them with the switch where you can toggle between legacy and UEFI, and some of them have, and you gotta look it up and make sure it'll actually work. That's the problem. Kind of a pain in the arse. Can't confirm, but it is what it is. You know what? I'm gonna go home and let the dog out, then I'm probably gonna have to leave like right away. But I gotta let the dog out because he's really gotta go. But yeah, I'm just gonna have Ford look at that front end. Anyway, I'm almost home. I'll chime back in later. Alright, peace. I'm so tired. I just want to go to bed, but I still gotta go to Ford and wait 4 hours while they drop my oil. But gotta love it. Our team at work on the after hours, boys, we're the Pantene pros of the friggin' operation. Let me tell you. We got a lot of bullshit this week from new upgrades they've done that caused havoc. We handle it like a bunch of bosses. I come flying upstairs and so does she. With a kitty. I got into the beta for Trailer Park Boys on PC. Yeah, the stupid... you focus, there we go. The stupid clicky game. That's what I like to call them, clicky games. Because all they are is clickers. That I play on my cell phone. They released a beta for the PC. And it's literally the same game, just the layout's a little different. And I decided to apply for it to see if it was any different. And it's the exact same game, just a different layout. You know, all they did was rewrote the code from ARM to x86. Everything's the same. The only difference is because it's still beta, a lot of the events, like today's the Valentine's event, comes out at 5 p.m. and that event you can get the two girls from Russia with love. Anywho, people, I got a rip tit over to Stickfish, drop the truck off for its servicing, and then we'll pitter patter. I don't know, I'm probably gonna get him to drop me off at home if it's gonna take him 4 hours. What the fuck? Oh, there's a bus there. Yeah, it's got its light bulbs on. Alright, let's go. Alright, let's film the drive. Alright people, we're home, and they did all the work on my truck and there was no problems. They did okay, let me see here. Oh, they charge you to dispose of oil too now. Well, that's different. Okay, okay, just checking here. Yeah, they did a points inspection, found no problems, replaced the oil filter. Wait. Perform video oil and filter change. Please reset oil life message. Performed points inspection and performed oil and filter change. Oh, they replaced my air filter? Oh, okay. Well, that's cool. Didn't even tell them to do that. But they don't tell you how much oil they had to put in it. Weird. Yeah, like they went all out. Just, I don't know what the hell's going on over here, but they didn't check that. They, did some stuff over here and things, and tire depth is good, I guess. I don't know, sure. It's not like I do burnouts on them, so should be fine. I never did a burnout on these tires. So it's 9 o'clock right now. And I am, guys, I'm done. I fell asleep at Ford. I kid you not. I just stayed there. I was going to get a ride home, but I'm like, how long is it going to take? And they're like, about an hour. And I told them, like, when I dropped the truck off, I said, listen, there's a noise in the front end. I don't know what the heck it is, but when you turn the wheel to the left, when you hit a bump, you hear clunk, clunk, clunk. And sure enough, when I went to pick it up, like go get it from him and drive off, buddy's like, yeah, we had it on the hoist to drop the oil. And my goodness, you should have seen what was under there. And I said, oh God, don't tell me it was an animal. He goes, no. He was like, you had a form of ice in your suspension, like in your front arm, the front, what do you call it, sway arm, control arm? I don't know. He's like, you had a chunk of ice in there that was not letting go, and we knocked it out with a pry bar, and it was massive. And I said, well, you know, shit happens, snow gets in there. He goes, oh yeah, no, it happens to these trucks, it's a given. He's like, but that's what your noise was. He goes, in the future, you can easily take that out yourself. If you get a pry bar, you can go down there and pop it out. And I'm thinking to myself, if you know about this problem, how come Ford hasn't fixed it? But luckily it's not a problem that, you know, you're driving down the street and your General Motors and the engine turns off because there's too much weight on your keychain. You know, one of those issues. It's just some clunking in the front end that's annoying, but won't get you into a major fender bender and kill you. Look at this thing being all athletic. Hey? Look at this thing being all athletic. Who's a kitten with him? Oh yes, you is. Oh, yes, yes. And just as I turn off the camera, she nearly eats shit. Anyway, this camera's about to die, so I'm going to go and plug you guys in. I'm going to bed, so I'll talk to you guys whenever the heck I wake up. Alright, peace. Oh, hey guys, I just woke up. It's 7:44 p.m. Yeah, slept the whole day away. It was a good time. Don't judge me. Anyway, I'm going to head over to the grocery store and get some Nums. Oh man, I just finished watching a video that makes Canada look stupid AF because of our stupid AF Prime Minister. You know, I'm proud to be Canadian, don't get me wrong. I'm just really disappointed in who's running the joint. Guy's an idiot. Like, I don't understand it. I expect some country just to walk in here and bomb us. Do that. Did I start my truck? There she goes. Must have forgot to lock my door. That's another story. But no, like, you probably saw that humankind, or not humankind, people kind video on ScrewTube going around, where somebody said something about how can this be beneficial for mankind, and he cuts them off and goes, no, we're very progressive. We want to say people kind. It's called humankind, you dumb fuck. And anybody who says, well, human has the word man in it, and therefore it's very sexist, well, no. Our race is called humans. So there's no problem there. And if you think there's a problem there, you're the fucking problem. You know what? It's not too bad out right now. It's actually pretty decent out. Where the hell did all that snow come from? Look at this. Huh. Alrighty, let's go get some groceries. And let's talk some more, because I gotta tell you a story about my buddy's work. This is funny. Okay, so imagine, if you will, you're a project maker or whatever at your work. Like, basically your job is to organize projects. Like, the boss comes up to you and says, I need you to find a way to do something, make a team, brainstorm, get me a solution by Friday. Now, normally you would sit down and you think, okay, we need to do this. Like, let's say it's reorganizing some stock in the storeroom, whatever the project may be. So normally when you're doing a project like that, you would look at skill sets. You'd be like, okay, well, I need somebody who's good at doing this, somebody who's good at doing this, somebody who's good at doing this. Now, that's how you would normally do it. You'd want the best guys you can possibly get, so you come out with the best results, and in the end the project goes off without a hitch, and it's a damn good project. Everybody's happy, you know, blue skies, barfy burgers, everything's good to go. Well, at his job, they got this new thing in play where you don't grab the best guy. You basically grab by diversity. So let's say Joe, Caucasian male, 35, is a systems analyst and one of the best you've ever seen. This guy can develop and find flaws in any system available on the market within minutes. But then you got Abdul, who's an immigrant Visa card employee, not that good of a systems analyst, takes him a little bit to figure things out for whatever reason. When you're picking your team, you have to pick Abdul. You don't go by skills, you go by diversity. This is the problem. You know, if Abdul was good at their job and, you know, was better than Joe, of course I'd pick Abdul. It's not a racial thing at that point there. But if you don't pick Abdul, then you're racist because you picked the white man. You see my problem with all this? And then projects don't get done right, and then things are screwed up, and people are complaining, oh, why is this so not done right? Well, because you didn't let me pick my team. My team was picked before you even said pick your team. You knew who you wanted me to have. I had no choice in the effort. This is the problem. And there's nothing we can do about it. This is the world we're moving into, people. Well, at least as Canadians. I don't know how it is in the US, but right now Canada is in a serious state. Alright? We're in some serious problems up here. Because what I described is not just happening at my buddy's work, it's happening at other locations too, where the skilled are being overlooked by diversity. And you know what? This probably sounds super racist. I bet you there's people out there saying, holy fuck, Adam is such a racist saying this. As if he can say that. Like, can he be any more racist? And it's not being racist, it's true. Why should somebody be overlooked because of their skin tone, because they're white? And I hate to say it, but you know that fucking white privilege bullshit that people keep saying? Well, that's racist. Because there is no more white privilege. It doesn't exist. That's just something people said to cause problems. And I don't give a frig what they say, man. It should come down to skill sets when you're trying to set up for a job. You shouldn't be hired because you're not from this country, you're an immigrant, or your skin's a different color, or you speak differently, or whatever. It should always come down to, are you skilled to do the job? Because the problem is some of the jobs out there are life or death situations. Like, imagine if they hired doctors based on diversity rather than skills, and you had Abdul, who's never done an open heart surgery, and you're his first mark, and he just guts you like a turkey because he has no idea what the hell he's doing, but you could have had another doctor who's been around the block and do that shit blindfolded and drunk. Like, yeah, I know, this is probably rough to hear, probably kind of cringy and all that, but fuck, it's sad but true. And it pisses me off because we're not allowed to think like this in Canada. That's my problem. The reason why I keep apologizing and all that is because I've been brainwashed over the past 2 years that, Adam, what you're thinking right now is not proper thought process. You're being intolerant and it's not acceptable. I'm not being intolerant. I'm being a realist, for crying out loud. Figure it out, Canada. What the hell's wrong with this damn country? You know what's wrong with it? Pretty boy Trudeau. That son of a bitch has got to get voted out. What a piece of shit. Anyway, why am I parking over here? I'm not even getting beer. It's one of the grocery store. Ah, whatever, I'm already parked. Okay, I'll be back. Maybe I will get beer. I'm a little infuriated now after talking about this. Friggin' Trudeau, that pretty boy piece of shit. Yeah, I bought a 6-pack of beer. Frig it. Haven't drank in a while. We'll have a little sixer for tonight. That, and I bought some freaking huge steaks, boys. Like huge steaks. You're probably saying, how come you didn't go to the brewery across the way? Get some homebrew beer. Holy, I just did a burnout. I just drifted that whole turn. I got her in rear-wheel drive right now. Not all-wheel drive. I mentioned in Instagram picture that I leave my truck in all-wheel drive because of the roads. And I put it in rear-wheel drive there to see if that was what was causing the tick in there. I did that this morning. Oh, man, my window's still frozen, eh? Come on, open up, you son of a whore. Frig sakes. I want to get some fresh air in here. There's some cold air. But anyway. I don't know. See me as a bigot, see me as a racist, see me as whatever you want. Those are my beliefs. I believe in skill over diversity. Because diversity is not what built Canada. It was the skilled men and women who fought for the land and built the infrastructure that we roll on today. And sure, it was a lot of immigrants from Europe. That's fine. I'll take that. But they were skilled. They weren't just handed a job because they're fresh off the boat or whatever the case may be. And that's what I'm getting at. Hey, if you're qualified, if you're completely capable of doing a job, skin tone don't matter. But if you're given a position just because you're from another country on a visa card, then I have an issue. Especially if you cannot perform at that job. And even we have a couple of those at work that are getting, like, you know, praise, but I'm constantly fixing their mistakes. You know, like, I was working with one of them and he got an issue. And he started losing it and beaking off at the guy. And I'm thinking, like, I've been in customer service now since 2000. So 18 years of customer service. I've never lost my cool on a client. And this guy here is going off on him, and I'm thinking, what gives you the right? This is your job. Your job is to deal with irate people with computer issues. Okay, that's your job. That's what they're paying you the bucks for. I thought for sure that window was going to open right there. That's what they're paying you the money for, is to deal with irate people with computer problems. So you don't have the right, when they're upset, the only right you have is to try and diffuse the situation. Don't try and like escalate it by going back at them. That's just asking for a shitstorm. Now you're not fixing their computer anymore. Now you're basically just barking back and forth. But because of diversity and the way the new Canadian thinking, nothing happens. He even had a formal complaint written up, and they just like shredded it, ignored it, told him don't let it happen again. Like, oh man, I don't know. I gotta not let it bother me while it bothers me. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, what we gotta do is, okay, come this June, July, whenever the election is, I think it's in June, first thing we gotta do is get that stupid freaking Kathleen Wynne out of the office, chuck her down a flight of stairs and get somebody else in there. And then when it's Trudeau's time to shine, we gotta shut his light bulb off and get him out of there and get somebody else in there. You know, before he gives our country away to fucking Afghanistan or something, because we're crying out loud, that's the way it's going. Like, if you don't believe me, Christ, just watch the news. But anyway, people, I'm gonna shut her down here and we're almost home. Alright, peace. So we got some pork chops, some pork shoulders, I should say. And look at these steaks. They got the bone into them, and like, I don't know if you can see that thickness, but that's a good sized steak. That's not bad either. Like $5.50 per. Decent. There we go, just fired up the barbecue. Yeah, that's right, I'm gonna barbecue. It's only minus 11 out, so I thought it was like minus 22. I wasn't gonna barbecue if that was the case, but minus 11? Let's barbecue some pork chops. Just got a text from my buddy. I guess he was in the food basics area and saw me do my sick drift out of the parking lot. Because he's like, whoa bro, you're not Paul Walker. Keep her straight, not sideways. Classic. Pork chops are done. So I'll put one in the fridge. We'll have it later. I like cold pork chops, they're pretty good. And I'm eating the other one right now. Let's go. Alright guys, well, I had my dinner. It was good. Probably gonna shut her down here. This video's gotten pretty freaking long. I know I probably upset some people. Whatever. I'm entitled to my own opinion. It's the way she goes. Yup. Anyway, thanks for watching. Like, favorite, comment, subscribe. Until next time, keep on vlogging.